okay? Oh, but guys, I did do something productive while I was like dying during like day 1 of Shark Week. So I'm gonna make a quiz show. It's like Jeopardy style, except it's gonna be focused around me. And it's gonna have my traumas. I was writing down all my traumas, and I was like, wow. It's kind of neat categorizing them as like trauma brackets real or trauma brackets funny. So basically, the way I categorize it is if the trauma makes me go, lol, that happened, then it's trauma brackets funny. Yeah, but if the trauma makes me go, damn, that really did happen, then it's gonna be trauma brackets real. Yeah. So I was writing them all down, but at first I was like, damn, I can only think of 5. But then suddenly I just had like 30. I was just like in bed writing things down on a fucking Google sheet, and I'm like, suddenly I went from 5 to 30, and I was like, god damn. Suddenly, okay, I just had that moment of like, okay, I can only think of 5. God damn it, I can't think of any more. But then like I stopped thinking about it and just started writing, and I'm like, wow. Oh, that did happen to me. God damn. Only 30 a week. I even remember new trauma. But unfortunately, the trauma I remember was trauma brackets real. So I was like, oh. I wouldn't call it new trauma. It's just trauma I forgot, but then suddenly remembered because I was writing down trauma. And I was like, whoa. Whoa. Whoa, wow. Only 30 being real? What the fuck? No, it's like half of them are like... Actually, no, I think it's like 18 are trauma brackets real. And then I have like 17 trauma brackets funny. Should I cause you more trauma? No new trauma. No new trauma. So we're gonna make fun of your trauma on a game show? Yeah, because I'm like over it. I think. Yeah, I'm like over it, I'm pretty sure. Is Maple okay with that much trauma? Yeah, I'm fine. See how much more productive you can be when you don't think? Exactly. Brain off. Maple's idea of therapy is making a game show, by the way. Okay, but like writing down like your trauma is technically like therapy or therapeutic or something. Yeah. It like helps you process things or some shit. I don't know. Look, it was a subathon reward. It was a subathon reward. It was a Maple Ma quiz show. But we just turned the quiz show into Maple Ma Jeopardy trauma. Yeah. And I'm happy about it. Yeah. The thing is though, I'm probably gonna kidnap my mods to compete because I would feel bad if I kidnap Outbreak and this is their first time learning about like, okay, they're gonna get like a regular board and then like the next board is just gonna be like an entire page of nothing but tragedies. Okay, so like I would feel bad if that's like how they learn about like my childhood. Because like random tidbits, yeah, that's like whatever, right? But like if they had to experience an entire like page of like 30 different Maple Ma traumas, I think they would just be sad instead of like having fun. You know? I thought the therapy was suffering in Kaizo. That too. Look, sometimes you need multiple therapies, okay? Trauma dumping. Yeah, it's just like if that's how they learned how like if that's how they learn about most of my childhood, I think they would feel sad instead of like happy to be there. So I don't want to trauma dump on them like right away. I want them to learn about my traumas over time. But if I kidnap my mods, you guys are already like, you guys in chat here and my mods already have to listen to my trauma dumping and you guys learned it over time versus like Outbreak that has to learn it all at once. So instead of being like depressed, you guys be like, oh, I know this. Yeah. We need a stream of trauma dumping. Yeah, you guys will get a stream of trauma dumping, except it's good for you guys. It's gonna be presented in a fun little Jeopardy quiz show. It's one of those comedy animes randomly having episode 11 being super heavy trauma dumping out of nowhere. Yeah, it's like Outbreak, except it's like Outbreak, basically Outbreak in Wonderland, and then the next episode, it's Outbreak, except the queen is unloading all of her... unloading her entire fucking childhood. Hi, Jeff. Remind me to tell you I broke Minnie yesterday. It was great. Awesome. I'm excited. You have a clip? Can we get Maple Ma trauma emote first? Yeah, it's like Maple Ma therapy emote, right? Thank you for the lurk, and also keys. Where are my keys? Aaron, thank you for the 3 watch streak. Like and thank you for the 65 watch streak, by the way. There you go. Got the new key ring. Yeah, I put on a tiny one, but it doesn't sound as good, I think. Hi, Record. Brain no work. It's okay, my brain no work. Can we skip to the beach episode? I would need to get a new swimsuit on this model, huh? Did my Chandra play after the funny war traumas? Oh no, funny war trauma is still just my childhood. So like, there's trauma. Oh wait, I'll like show, not a screenshot of like the actual trauma entries themselves, but I'll show like how I categorize things. Here. Yeah, so this is how I categorize things in the spreadsheet. We have trauma real, trauma funny, content related, shithead chatter, stream moments, catchphrases and soundboard, and silly streamer. I feel like content related and silly streamer are almost the same category, but not exactly, you know? Do we have adult maple trauma? Yeah, so like for example, trauma brackets real. There's that one time where my friends called an ambulance for me, but 911 told me they were out of ambulances and were too busy. So they called back an hour later to ask if I was still alive and needed an ambulance. So that one would be trauma brackets real and not trauma brackets funny, you know? Yeah. I think it's more insulting that they called back an hour later asking if I still needed the ambulance. I didn't. But like, yeah, no, one time my friends called me an ambulance because I lost my vision. This was due to being on my period, by the way, because my blood pressure gets really bad during my period. So I didn't have enough like blood pressure to get blood where it needed to go. In this case, to my head. So I lost my vision and I couldn't see and I had to like lie down on the floor, right? So obviously my friends being like, oh shit. She fucking lost her vision. She needs an ambulance. They called the ambulance for me, and they told me they were fucking busy! So anyways, eventually my blood pressure got back to normal. So like, I got my vision back, and I was like, I could like move again. Still not that great. But they called back an hour later asking if I still needed help. So yeah, that happened when I was in university, and like, I've never been told from 911 before. This is my first experience with ever calling 911. I guess not me, but my friends. They're like, what do you mean 911 had ran out of ambulances and were too busy and checked back an hour later just to make sure I was fucking alive? Make you lose your vision? Sometimes if it gets really bad, then like, my blood pressure gets really low to the point where I lose my vision. But that was like, I think that was like one of the worst experiences I've had with like being on my period. But like, yeah. Huh? That's ridiculous. Yeah, I've never been told, yeah, we're too busy right now from 911. I don't know. I feel like them calling back an hour later to check if I was alive was definitely more insulting than it needed to be. Yeah. Like, could you imagine I just fucking died or some shit and they're like, hey, you still okay? It's like, no, she's dead. It's your fault. But yeah. Hey, bro, you good? Yeah, I got hit with the hey, bro, you good. That's pretty messed up. Yeah, that's why I would categorize that bit of trauma under trauma real. I think that one goes under trauma real, not trauma funny. I can laugh at it now, but thinking back on it, you're like, it's not like a lol, that happened to me. It's more of like, damn, that happened to me. Maybe the hospital's super crowded. It's not the hospital. They ran out of ambulances. That's the reason they told my friend. They ran out of ambulances and they couldn't get me. And I was like, oh, well, I suppose I'm still like conscious and talking. I just don't have vision. You have a punch, real. Okay, let me see how many trauma real I have. Yeah, it's 18 entries. It's 18 entries of trauma real, and I have 17 entries of trauma funny. Yeah. Ta-da! Ta-da! I think that one's the most like it's definitely the most, I don't know, trauma real example of like that doesn't involve my parents for once, I guess. Yeah, this one doesn't involve my parents. Most of the trauma real involves like my parents. Have you considered meds? Oh, like for like I don't know, the trauma or like for my period? Yeah. Hi Hopeless. Hi Roscoe. Hi Pass. No, the period. Yeah, so like that's what Advil's for now. Yeah, that's for. Oh, but like I do have like a trauma brackets reel from like being on my period back at like my parents' place though, because one time it was like my first time getting like period pain, because before that I've never had that before. So I told my mom about it. She denied me Advil and told me to take these random Asian herbal medicines instead that just didn't do anything for me. But I just had to pretend that they did anything for me because she just refused to give me fucking Advil. And why she locked away the Advil in the first place was kind of insane to me, but yeah. So I just went out and bought shit myself. Yeah. So like, okay, it was like these small, tiny herbal pills. And she was like, you don't need Advil, you don't need Tylenol, you should take this instead. And they didn't do shit. Sounds like they didn't trust you with medicine. No, she's just stupid. I was 20. Yeah. I was 20. She can take Advil. I'm not allowed the Advil. I'm not allowed one, no. She gave you the equivalent of Asian thoughts and prayers? Yeah. She could take it. No, she's just stupid. Yeah, she's just stupid. Honestly, I think like she's not the stupidest college educated person I know, but my mom's definitely up there sometimes, you know? Yeah, 20-year-olds can't feel pain. True. I sent the mini clip. Okay, I watch after. Yeah. Okay, let me take this away and let me go back to my corner. Let me go back. You guys, it's time. It's time for me to play Kaizo. Because Kaizo make happy. Also, Shadow Nova, thank you so much for this.